While the roguelike genre grows daily, putting even the most potent Viagra pill to shame, some upcoming titles are flying under the radar, which is why I will show you 7 upcoming roguelikes you've probably never heard of. Starting off with Sworn, a Hades-inspired action roguelike, seeing us change the formula of the typical King Arthur story and face off against the Knights of the Round Table instead of joining their effort. By picking one of 4 heroes, each with numerous weapons to unlock and choose from, we charge into different levels, killing the resident enemies by dodging their indicated attacks, while we use light, heavy or special attacks to reduce their health to 0. With many different blessings we can gain from various phases, we enhance our combat prowess during a run, to face legendary beasts and the mentioned knights in tough boss fights. Outside of the runs, we use obtained resources and currencies to unlock more heroes, weapons and unlock talent trees for power-ups, while the Forge lets us specifically increase the weapon strength, seeing the replayability ramp up high. Especially the 1 to 4 player online co-op will be a blast once the game will be released sometime in 2024, which should be soon since, goddammit, it's already November. Next up is As We Descend, a creative city defending deck builder which sees us delve into dark battles, joined by a lantern and a roster of units, each with their own skills in form of cards. With 2 zones, a limited amount of energy to play cards, and a clever staggering system, we face dark creatures to obtain resources we can give to citizens in the radiant globe-like city to obtain more cards, copper or favor, a unique resource to utilize more powerful cards in combat. The 2 zones on the battlefield not only function as guarding or supporting positions, but further empower specific cards. Those skills range from offensive or defensive abilities and can stagger the enemies, while a staggered enemy opens up a weak spot for a higher damage output. The clever game design saw me hit the wishlist button quicker than a teenager during sex, while the lack of a release date got me as disappointed as a teenager during sex. Talking about something sexy, Riftstorm is next. An isometric co-op shooter which sees us launch into various missions out of a fancy looking base, with the choice of a handful of heroes, each with their own special abilities and choice of weapons, which we either craft ourselves or they get dropped after a successful run. With up to 3 unique skills, a dodge roll and 2 weapons, we clear these runs either solo or with friends, each run being filled with numerous supernatural enemy sections and boss encounters. Every cleared room lets us pick an upgrade to further enhance our allies or our own combat prowess, while the overall fighting power grows with each run and level up. With the simple yet entertaining game loop and more guns than a typical American household, Riftstorm landed on my wishlist even though no release date has been announced yet. Next up on the list is Jotunnslayer Hordes of Hel, which sounds like the most hardcore metal band. In the Nordic worlds we pick one of a handful of characters, running through arenas and the enormous hordes of enemies, while gaining levels, pick upgrades from various gods and fulfill quests to gain gold and soul stones to buy other weapons, skins and enhance our character's overall power through simple enhancements. Compared to other Vampire Survivors arena shooters, the visuals are not the only outstanding aspect, since each level feels like a neat little extraction mission, picking the mentioned quests while dodging through monsters or clearing them out with the various passively activating abilities or the active skill each character can use. After auto-attacking and zigzagging through hordes of creatures in the rather content-lacking demo, I saw myself hyped up for a release date in the last quarter of 2024. So basically now. Since one deck builder isn't enough for this list, the next title is Echoes of Spellcraft. As a magician armed with an auto attack and a constantly redrawn stack of cards, we venture through auto battling sections, facing waves of enemies while we utilize the time freeze to plan out the numerous spells. Each fight sees our mage run towards the closest enemy, starting his simple attack pattern, while the cards in our hands can be manually placed to destroy every opponent. With synergies between cards, artifacts we obtain in the shop or through random encounters, and overall enhancements unlocked in the base through the talent trees, see us becoming powerhouses and clearing out wave after wave until we reach the incredibly tough boss fights. While these, as well as the elite enemy encounters, could use a slight balance tweak, I for one am hyped for this pixelated new title, which will launch sometime in the first quarter of 2025. Coming close to the end, we have Standalone, the old tale of a small sheep standing against a big bad wolf, but slightly changing the narrative, with the sheep being a robot that took over the corpse of a sheep and the wolves being armed with laser guns.
What?
It's basically the same old story. Equipped with a sword and up to 4 special abilities, we follow Alpha, slashing and dodge rolling through various sections, each filled with an array of different canine enemies, while temporary upgrades in form of artifacts are accompanied by skill-specific enhancements we can unlock during a run. Every once in a while we can slot upgrades to the mentioned skills, increasing the damage, reducing their used action points which periodically recharge, or adding additional effects like a burning debuff. With its beautiful pixelated art style and the quick, unforgiving combat, you better believe me when I scream wolf, and add this side-scrolling platformer to your wishlist for its release sometime in 2025. Last but not least is Degenheim, a fast-paced hack and slash similar to Hades, while instead of a mythologically intriguing story, we get wacky dialogues, funny puns, and a more accessible gameplay, with various heroes to unlock and play, each with their own skills limited to 2 base attacks and 1 rechargeable special ability. We further enhance our character's power in the gym, randomly enhancing numerous stats. Furthermore, each run drops items we can equip and further enhance, as well as fuse together. With 20 stages to clear, interesting bosses to beat, and countless temporary upgrades each cleared stage brings, the longevity of a run is manageable, while giving us great replayability. Degenheim has no release date set yet, but saw me push the wishlist button harder than a door that has the word pull written on it. And these are 7 upcoming roguelikes you've probably never heard of. Are you looking forward to 1, 2, or even all 7 titles? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to go outside once in a while. I know there are people, but they might be friendly.